The gym is a place and expense that not everyone can necessarily afford. You see all these fancy squat racks, cages, bench press, dumbbells, kettlebells, and you find all these amenities that cater to individuals who try to build strength. But it begs the question, how can I build this strength without access to a gym? It may seem impossible for the average gym goer, but in this video I'm actually going to show you ways where you can build muscle and strength on a budget. So, that being said, let's get started. Now in this video I'm going to talk about two main ways where you can build muscle on a budget. The first one being a resistance band. Now I got mine from Five Below for $5, but you can find these accessible at Walmart or on Amazon. As you can see, I'm doing push-ups, and this has honestly been such a great investment for my travels, as it helped me retain a lot of muscle mass and strength for when I come back to the gym and get back on track. Now this next exercise here is actually one of my favorite ones. With that resistance band, you pretty much put it behind your back, near your lower waist, lower back area, and you essentially push forward. It acts as dumbbell flies, and what you want to make sure is to squeeze at the very top rather than trying to push yourself forward. So it's a great way to build size in addition to the main compound lift. And over here is pretty much showing you the next exercise that I'm going to be working with is squats. Now this one is one of my favorite exercises, as it's a compound movement that targets pretty much all parts of your body. And it can seem pretty difficult at first, but if you look at my side profile, you can see that my back's straight and that I have a good forward lean, not too much to the point where it's excessive, but typically speaking, you just want to get to the point where you break parallel or even below. Now, I'm sort of winking at the bottom, and this is something that you necessarily want to avoid. So to start off, you get the resistance band and you put your feet at shoulder width apart. Now this is important so you get enough flexibility in the movement, and if we go on to the next segment here is pretty much working with the same method. I'm going to add a little more resistance to this one with a kettlebell, and with this kettlebell it will essentially act as further weight to help grow my quads and my hamstrings in the squat movement. Now, the main important thing to focus on here is to keep your back straight and to keep a controlled tempo. If you don't do any of these, you'll risk injury, and it's necessarily not a good movement for growing your muscles. So make sure that all your form is intact, your back straight, and that you focus on form over trying to lift as much weight as possible. And of course, can't finish a good workout with a nice arm pump, so over here, same form, shoulder width apart, and really focus on contracting the biceps at the top. Try to emphasize the squeeze at the top because that will help you grow the most muscle from this exercise. So maybe one or two resistance bands aren't really cutting it out for you, and you want to take your fitness up to the next level. This is a problem I used to have. For example, I used to bench 390 pounds for 1 rep max, and then I took a break from lifting for a year, and when I came back, I could hardly lift 255 pounds for a 1 rep max. I started incorporating my resistance bands training at one point. I took another 9-month hiatus at one point to recover from my shoulder injury, and at this point my 1 rep max was 385 pounds, but I started implementing my banded workout, as well as this next method I'm about to show you. This next method here is actually incorporating weights that are pretty accessible, and it's a backpack. Whether you have textbooks lying around, it's a really great workout for added strength and added weight to your exercises. As you can see here, I'm holding a backpack with some books in it, and simply doing push-ups. Now you can add resistance bands here if you want to really increase your fitness levels, and this method here has actually made it so that rather than coming back and barely lifting 255 pounds, I was able to come back and lift 330 pounds after a 9-month hiatus. The next exercise is obviously the bodyweight squat. I would add a band if I could to increase more leg strength and more leg drive, but if you can, try taking it easy with just the backpack for now. And These are honestly my favorite exercises that I do on every vacation. Obviously, there are many more ways to incorporate workouts with the band and backpacks, but if you're in a pinch and you're really trying to increase your fitness levels on a budget, these are my go to exercises so that you can incorporate some of these exercises in your day to day life.